What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. Let's listen to a little clip of Frank Warren being asked about Anthony Joshua and, of course, Deontay Wilder.
Off in the heavyweight division, obviously next week with you guys, Usyk, Dubois and Poland, Zhang, Joyce 2 in September. We've seen Joshua just fight a couple of weekends ago. Do you think he goes in with Deontay Wilder?
I don't know, and I've got to be really honest, I don't particularly care. It doesn't bother me that much, you know. You asked me, was it last time we spoke, what I thought of the fight, and I gave you my views. If they make it, they make it. I don't think they will make it. I don't think they'll make it and get the money they think they're going to get. I really don't. They were talking about making another fight for AJ in between. And I think they're going to have a problem with that because I think the public will be expecting more.
Do you think he should have taken the fight with Tyson in September?
He should have. That fight wasn't going to happen in December, and we all know that. I mean, if you go and check all the interviews that when you've asked me about this, I've not changed. What I said, what will happen. I said.
Okay, so Mr. Full of Shit right here. I have to call bullshit on this. Okay. Now, in terms of him caring or not, doesn't bother. But you see, there's resentment there. There's a jealousy there. There's some bad blood there. And on the behalf of Frank Warren, I mean, anything that's good for boxing in a positive way, why would I really don't care. He's bitter. He himself was backing Joshua by saying, Fury was wanting these, demands and faster than they were going to actually happen. There's no way that fight was going to happen when, right? Okay. Fury wasn't Joshua. Fury was the one that was trying to rush. He just trying to rush him to fight sooner than he needed to, right? Listen, he did the same shit to Usyk, right? I got to bring it back because a lot of times people see they forget what was actually going on. They listen to what's being said now. And they go by what's being said now and don't remember, wait a minute. It was your guy that held up the fight. He did the same thing with these ridiculous demands, right? So let's not forget something, all right? For him to accept that fight, right, when at a much sooner date than what should have happened, he accepted the fight. See, I have to bring this back. AJ accepted the fight. They all said it wasn't about the fighters at this point. It was the networks and whatever these different companies they wanted. They were sorting things out with the attorneys. And then he tried to change his tune because, like I said, behind closed doors, Fury probably told him, like, man, you on my side of what? I'm saying one thing, you're saying another, you're making me look stupid. So everything was against AJ. You want to know the crazy thing is, after all of that nonsense that he and Fury was talking about, Fury wanted to fight X amount of times, and right? What has Fury done since then? He fought Dillian White. Dillian White had to take him to court because they was trying to give him next to nothing and wasn't going to fight him if he wanted more without, being forced to. Okay. And they were saying $5 million and Dillian wound up, getting $8 million. Okay. But at the end of the day, he did that. Then he fought Derek Chisora. And what has he been doing? Nothing but walking around wasting time, right? So he's saying, you could hear it in his voice. You just, even the way, when a person's talking to you and they're looking at you, and then when you say something, a certain name or subject, something you bring up, then the eyes start shifting, they start looking around, and it's like you can see, like, he just don't like the fact that, see, they thought they had AJ where they wanted him, but then what he realizes, no, he don't want to admit it. His guy never wanted that fight. And then in terms of him saying that they won another fight before the AJ fight, before the Wilder fight, well, let's just say if that would be the case. And I don't recall hearing, if it's something I missed, somebody tell me in the comment section, okay? Because I heard AJ say Wilder's next. He said he want to keep busy, he want to keep fighting. Okay, it's August. Okay, I never heard Anthony Joshua or Eddie Hearn say they want another fight before Wilder. I heard them say they want 3 fights before the year is up. Okay? Franklin, Helenius, Wilder being number 3. And for that fight to be in December, what the fuck fight do you think Anthony Joshua want in between then? Do you understand? Like, so I've never heard them say they want another fight before Wilder. So I don't know where he got that shit from. But that being said, you always want to see boxing have the fights that is going to help boxing to get the attention it needs, to keep good fights coming in, and to, for people to look at boxing for what it should be. And that's not an easy task because it's no real consistency. Now, example, this guy Sean O'Malley was going back and forth with Ryan Garcia. Now he's, making comments about he like to fight Tank Davis. It's like, yeah, these guys are using other guys to try to build their profile up. So you went from Ryan to Tank. Worry about mentioning UFC guys. But we know what that's about. I just thought this was kind of funny when I saw this because this video was titled "Joshua Will Not Fight Wilder." Right? Frank Warren slams Matchroom over Baumgartner fail, and McCann, somebody that fought. Okay, McCann fought to a draw or whatever. Okay, or whatever. So anyway, but it's just funny. Now the content creator is the one that gave the title to this video, but he's saying he don't know, he really doesn't care and whatever, but he doesn't think it happens. He said all those 3 things in one sentence. He doesn't know, he doesn't really care, but he don't think it happens. They want another fight. This guy is bitter. I just have this about me. I would never want to fight somebody, play ball against somebody, do anything. I don't want to compete with anybody in something and they're not 100%. I see, when it's money driven, people don't care because it's like, hey man, shit, I'm about to collect this money. This dude got broken ribs. Yeah, this dude pulled his shoulder the other day. No, I want to beat you fair and square. But, AJ had the meltdown after the fight. People made it a big deal, like he did something that was inhumanly possible. Like humans are not supposed to do that. Like they've never seen a person have a meltdown before. I've seen much worse. I've seen the guy win a fight, and then the opponent that he beat, he walks over to shake his hand, the guy sucker punched him. Okay, I've seen an Olympic wrestling match where kid was all over this kid, embarrassed him. Just beat him. Hey, this is no punches and knees and elbows. Just, hey, he walks over to shake his hand, kid sucker punched him. I saw 2 females on a female basketball team playing basketball. And the girl, she's doing her job. She strips the ball. She blocks her shot. She strips the ball again. She's scoring points. The girl gets frustrated. She punches in the face. That's much worse than having a fucking meltdown because he threw some belts out the ring and it's human shit. But anything AJ do is, it's like, oh, I can't believe AJ did. Do you see what he did? Now let me say this about the fight itself. And I tell people this all the time. I see AJ as a better fighter than Deontay Wilder. AJ can crack with both hands. People that say, but Deontay Wilder, see, he gets the knockouts and they fought the same guy and it took, AJ a lot longer. I've said this once and I will say it again. Anthony Joshua is in boxing mode and he's not letting his hands go the way he used to. That's no secret. Same way, Manny Pacquiao fought the same guys that Floyd Mayweather has fought. And Manny Pacquiao beat them up in a more vicious and brutal way than Floyd did. He might have got them out there quicker than Floyd did. What happened when Floyd fought Pacquiao? And they were saying the same thing. Pacquiao's explosive style, this and that. Difference is, Wilder can't box. He just has the right hand. He has patience, and he will keep his distance and catch you slipping. Other than that, he does nothing special. He has no fucking footwork. He doesn't have a sharp ring IQ. Wilder is more instinctive of, you make a mistake, bam, he throws the shot. He doesn't set traps. He doesn't box. He doesn't give you different looks off of movement. He doesn't give you different angles. Throw shots off the pivot. Good with the defense. That's not Wilder. That's not him. He doesn't throw a lot of punches around. Okay. When I'm hearing people make this comparison, it's like you guys make it sound like this dude is like Riddick Bowe, or like he has like, Larry Holmes type skills and knockout power in both hands. And he's just, no, Wilder is Wilder. He does what he does. Anthony Joshua is doing what he's doing now. The worry, the concern that people have is that he's letting guys stay in there longer than they need to. That killer instinct hasn't been there. Okay. That being said, he's a better boxer than Wilder. He doesn't have to throw a big variety of punches to get Wilder out of there. All he needs is one. The same way Wilder might only need one with him. More than likely, it'll be the right hand or nothing at all. But regardless, the point is, we've seen guys who can't box better than AJ outbox Deontay Wilder. Maybe they're both on a decline. It's funny because aside from Fury, what did he fight? Ortiz twice? Helenius? Who else? Who else? Like, I mean, I'm telling in terms of being active. Who else? Dominic Brazil. Like, Wilder barely fights. He's barely been fighting. We say for every other fighter, like the Keith Thurmans, the Gary Russells, right? All these fighters who barely fight, like, man, it's not really good to be out the ring like that. You want to stay active and keep busy. It's, because see, but Wilder got the right hand, so he's always dangerous because of the right hand. It's like, yeah, okay. He still didn't fight a Joseph Parker. He didn't fight an Andy Ruiz. Okay, he didn't fight these guys. He didn't fight a Joe Joyce. And I told you guys, it doesn't matter who you think is going to win. It doesn't matter who I think is going to win. It doesn't matter. I don't really, listen, it matters that these fights happen. So even though Anthony Joshua took the boxing approach, so when you hear me say, was Hearns a bum for getting knocked out? I mean, was Duran a bum for getting knocked out in 2 rounds by Hearns? Oh, but that's different. How? Tell me how. Is it 2 human beings, 2 fighters? What one is a fucking demigod? Okay? Is Ken Norton a bum for getting knocked out in 1 round by Ernie Shavers? So all these things that you guys say, when you're trying to make a point about giving somebody skill, like it's just like the same way you saying how Wilder, like AJ doesn't let his hands go like he used to. Duh, we know that. You keep saying the same shit, but he's winning regardless. Okay? He's won his last 3 fights regardless with that same style. You don't like his style, but it's working for him. That's what matters, that he's winning. So whether he beats Wilder by knockout or whether he beats him off decision, the point is if he wins, he wins. The difference with Wilder is who the fuck is Wilder really going to outbox that can box? So it's not about I have to throw a lot of punches. No. There's things, it would suit AJ. To me, when I watch him, it's always something that you see that, man, he should have did, you know what? He should be doing this right now. Listen, what's going to happen is going to happen. I feel confident that he can beat Deontay Wilder. But guess what? Either one of them can land a knockout punch. This is the whole point of what I'm saying. You're making it sound like Wilder is some fucking, like AJ just fell off. He can't do anything good, but Wilder's just the world beater. Man, listen. Wilder has no real defense either. Wilder leaves himself open. Wilder has no footwork and movement. Just like I said, so we already know with Wilder, it's either he's going to land the right hand or he's not. Because that's, listen. If Anthony Joshua knocked Deontay Wilder out, I'm telling you the same way I told you guys. I said, Fury beat Wilder in their next fight. The excuse is going to be the cheating that Fury did in the first 2 fights damaged Wilder. He's not the same fighter. People was actually saying that shit and when after the 3rd fight, after the 3rd fight. And then Wilder said Fury cheated in all 3 fights would make it so bad. And his fan base is saying the same thing. So it's like, well, where's the cheating? Where's the proof of this? What did he do in the 3rd fight that he was cheating? Hold up. People said Fury was hitting him behind the head. Now let's look at some of the same comments in these channels where people were saying Jermell Charlo was making up excuses for Errol Spence, and it's like, why every time somebody says something, it has to be an excuse? Nobody can say anything and mean it. You want to know what's funny? I watched the Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight several times, but it's true. He was landing a lot of shots behind it. He landed at least 5 or 6, between 4 and 6. Go back and watch the fight yourself. The reason he was hitting Spence in the back of the head, though, was Spence's own fault. Now, that is what Jermell Charlo didn't acknowledge, because Spence would throw his shots and duck his head down. So when Crawford would counter, he's throwing to the head, and Spence is turning his head and dipping down, so he's got clipped in the back of the head. Yeah, that did happen. But why are you making up your excuse? No, look, Spence lost the fight, but regardless, doesn't matter. The point is how you guys are quick to, all of a sudden now, because you wanted Crawford to win, he's making up excuses. But listen, when Tyson Fury was hitting, the shots that y'all said hit Wilder behind the back of the head, it's funny how y'all saw that, right? It's funny how y'all saw that shit. But y'all didn't see Spence landing the shots behind, Crawford landing the shots behind, Spence head. Listen, that's petty. But this guy and what he just sat here and said, it's just funny, man. When I look at Frank Warren, man, it's like even when he's in a good mood, he just looks miserable. He just has that kind of face, those droopy ass eyes. Like he looks like he's that kind of person that if he's having a bad day and he sees some people walking down the street laughing, joking, like he's looking at them thinking, the fuck are they so happy about? He just had that look on his face. Plain and simple, though. Whether the fight happens or not, why wouldn't the fight happen? It sounds more like he hoped the fight doesn't happen just so he can try to make a point to say something about, Hearn and AJ to like try to discredit them. It's like he hoped that fight doesn't happen. Then listen to what he said. I don't think the money nobody asked you about the fucking money. Nobody said anything about anything. And the fact that Tyson Fury was the reason that the fights didn't happen in Saudi was all over the internet that, yeah, it's Fury's fault. He doesn't want, he's the only one they said, look, AJ and Wilder was in, they wanted to make this happen, right? Usyk was in. Fury was the holdup. You think Frank Warren is going to speak against his guy? No. But if you can't tell the truth, shut the fuck up. Answer questions properly. Nobody asked you about the money. You heard the first thing. Oh, I don't think the money, the kind of money that they think, I don't think they're going to get. No, he hoped that it doesn't happen. And he want to try to make the point be, see, Anthony Joshua should have fought against Tyson Fury. But listen, hate is going to be hate, man. I just felt like speaking about this because it was just kind of like when I saw it, like, wow, Joshua will not fight Wilder. Wilder's been the one that's been avoiding Joshua all this time. But isn't it funny how all of a sudden, if the fight doesn't happen, it's going to be because of what? Because Joshua doesn't want it. He pulls out. He's scared of Wilder. Or what's going to be the case? Oh, the money's not right, so neither one of them want to do it. That's hate. That's nothing but jealousy and hate because his guy's not involved. But you know what? At least Anthony Joshua and Wilder is two real fighters. Okay? Versus his guy over here trying to make a spectacle and holding that WBC belt up hostage. Well, end of the day, and you know what? Here's the thing. Whether this Ngannou fight happens or not, let's say if he does fight Ngannou, who's next? If he doesn't fight Ngannou, who's next? Because for someone that wanted to stay so busy and so active, isn't it funny how Fury's not in any rush to get back in the ring with anybody? And all they've been talking about was Ngannou. As I said, that's been the fucking case from day one. Fury know what he was trying to do. And he'd rather make a big payday against a non-boxer than someone that's basically possibly good, well, definitely good enough to beat him. It's just the size thing that people think that the size is going to be the difference. Doesn't make a difference, man. Doesn't make a difference. So question, do y'all think Ngannou would beat Usyk? And if you say, well, styles make fights, you sound really like stupid assholes to say that when you're talking about a guy that's not a fucking boxer. So, just saying, Joshua will not fight Wilder. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all in the next video.